vests with them.
Tumeambiwa we can enter. We've been told we can enter.
Fearless. It does not matter what they do. Okay.
Mikono inachoka kabla sijaanza jamani. Are you ready?
Fundisha tu mkono ukisema kwa ready utaweka tu juu. We have been in court for more than 12 hours. You can say from 9 o'clock until this time. And all this time we have been waiting that Mr. Miguna will be able to be presented in court, as was ordered yesterday by the High Court, and as was ordered by the court in Kajiado, whereby he was supposed to be produced in court today by 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. he had not been produced, and the court gave its ruling about its findings about whether there was any contempt. The court found out that there was contempt of its orders and ordered that Mr. Miguna be released immediately on an initial cash bill that had been paid of 50,000 shillings. Now, that receipt was available. We waited for Mr. Miguna to be presented. He has not been presented. Until now, as we speak, we do not know where Mr. Miguna is. Nobody knows where he is. The officers who are supposed to be in charge, we are told is Mr. Saidi, and we are also told that the director of CID knows about it. But even as the State Counsel called in to try and confirm where the whereabouts of Mr. Miguna, they did not seem to have a clue. So if the DCI and the in charge of flying squad do not have a clue, you can imagine whether we have a clue at all. So what we are actually saying is that until this particular moment, in as much as we might say that Mr. Miguna is alive, he has not been produced to us so that we can be able then to take the next step as the court wanted to release him. We begin wondering whether then it is really necessary for us to obey court orders anymore. If the people who are supposed to be in the front line, the policemen, do not obey court orders, they do not turn up in court, they do not tell us where the client is it really then good for us to be obeying laws that even the policemen do not obey? Are we then going to say that this country is then governed by laws? Do we have a constitution? Do the rights of a person really exist, the fundamental rights? Are we going to enjoy them if the policeman can deny us those rights? It's really a very disappointing day. And personally, I'm starting to think twice whether I should be obeying the law of any kind. That is all I can say, my colleagues.
Now, impunity is what we can use to explain what we've experienced today. It cannot be explained why, despite the clarity of the order by the High Court, the Director of Criminal Investigations and the Inspector General of the Police cannot comply with it. It is quite apparent that this regime is hell-bent on subverting the course of justice and setting aside the Constitution. Now, we need to progress this matter. The court has said we come back tomorrow at 11, but we must make a petition to several officers in this country to indicate our dissatisfaction in the matter the police have treated this case. Tomorrow, immediately after the court appearance before Justice Kimaro at 11, I beseech all lawyers to be here. We'll assemble here. Thereafter, we'll move in a procession down Kenyatta Avenue to the Supreme Court. We'll present a petition to the Chief Justice indicating our dissatisfaction in the manner in which court orders are being disobeyed, and pleading with the Chief Justice to come out and stamp his authority as the head of the judiciary to the other two arms of the government and indicate to them the necessity for them to comply with court orders. After finishing with the Chief Justice, we'll proceed to the office of Inspector General Boynet, also make our petition to him. Because Boynet must understand that over and above being a police officer is a Kenyan citizen. If there is an order that is made by a court of law requiring compliance, he must comply. And because he thinks he's above the law, no police officer will come and arrest him. We'll come there as the citizens, and if need be, we'll arrest him and bring him to this court. Because we cannot have a situation whereby we are ruled by a regime which insists that we follow the law, but it does not follow the law. I insist all lawyers must be here tomorrow at 11. It is incumbent upon us to come together and defend the rights of lawyers. Because if lawyers' rights cannot be defended by lawyers themselves, there will be nobody. We've seen quite clear that the Law Society of Kenya leadership does not want to take this thing with the seriousness that it deserves. I've taken it upon myself to command the battalion of lawyers that will ensure that we return to the order, we return to a situation whereby everybody against whom a court order is made understands that he needs to comply with it. Asanteni sana. Nakutana kesho.
A question. Just before the judge adjourned, there was information that Miguna was within this building. What became of the information?
Well, somebody came and notified the court that Miguna had been brought here, so there was no need for further proceedings. But it turned out to be a false statement. Miguna had not been brought here. As to why that was the case, we do not understand.
And the court has ordered further that the proceedings against Mr. Miguna be suspended in any court in this country, be suspended until he has been produced by those officers in court. That is why he has ordered that Mr. Saidi and Mr. Kinoti to personally produce Mr. Miguna by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And we were told that Miguna was taken to Kajiado. And one of you maybe saw him in Kajiado.
Yes, he was taken to Kajiado law courts in the morning. We notified the court in Kajiado through a team of lawyers that was there to notify the court of the orders that had been made for Miguna's production here. And the magistrate there complied with the order of the High Court and directed that Miguna be brought here by 2:30 p.m. Look, by the time we're living now, the police, despite being notified of that order, have disobeyed it.
Maybe if you could just, do you have any information about his health? Is he eating? There are reports that he has not eaten since he went into police custody.
We don't know. We've just seen him on pictures, we've seen him on video. He looks strong and upbeat. But for a fact, I think he's being mistreated.
In the event that he is not produced in court tomorrow, what do you think should be the way forward, apart from the protest?
Look, we are living in a society that must uphold the rule of law. But if for a fact we cannot achieve this through the judicial process, then the people will now need to take a decision. Yeah, you remember after NRM-K came into power, we used to arrest policemen and public officers who are not complying with the law. We will take it upon ourselves to go to Mazingira House. We'll take it upon ourselves to go to Boynet's house, office, and deal with it. Now, Miguna was brought before a judicial officer, so it's been confirmed that it is Miguna who appeared before the magistrate in Kajiado. It is him.
And did he have a legal representation at Kajiado?
Yes, we sent volunteers who were able to manage to access him in court and present the court order that has been made. That is the reason as why the magistrate in Kajiado directed that he will not ask Miguna to take a plea there, but he must come here and the matter be dealt in the manner in which the court directed yesterday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Good night.